Hi guys, and welcome into our 36th evening stream, and more than likely our last. And I am happy to be here with you guys tonight. I am so happy that we're back. We've had a bit of a break, and we just had some amazing information come through. We've been sitting on it just for not too long, but we wanted to make sure that we were correct. And thank you to all our family who are in the house tonight. You know who you are. I'm not going to go through names, or otherwise we'll be here for a long, long time. But we love you, and we thank you for your support just by showing up here tonight to be with us. So Growler's in the house with me. Hey, Growler.
How are you, sis?
Oh, mate, I'm amazing. I'm amazed and I'm amazing. How are you?
Yes. Oh, mate, yeah, it's a bit of a holiday we've had, just getting away from a bit of the stuff for a while, just doing a bit of our own stuff, and what we've come up with is pretty amazing. So, yeah, and like you said, we have sat on it, how long for now? Week and a half or something like that.
Yeah.
Just to verify everything and try and back everything up to make sure that it's delivered in a timely fashion.
That's right, exactly. So what we're going to be speaking about is basically, it's all goes back to Rome, guys. All roads do lead to Rome. So that old saying is so true. But this is in a way that you guys didn't even imagine, because we didn't know. We didn't imagine that this is actually what they are worshipping. So we're going to start off, number one. Paul's Growler's going to take this one first, and then I'm going to pick up at the end of this one as well with just a bit of an add-on to what he's saying. So we've got to be very careful what words we use, as we know. So we use the CV for the infection, and we use the VC for the sharp sting. Now, also, yeah, well, hopefully they're the only words we have to try and get around here tonight. It all does. I didn't want to talk about that at all, but this is what it all goes back to, because this is what they are doing to you. Don't inoculate the world for nothing. You don't smash the economy for nothing. You can't smash the economy twice. You can't you can inoculate the world twice, but they are doing this with such fury here in Australia. It only started, they did the first ones yesterday, and today was supposed to be proper kickoff day here. Now, we have seen nothing but that in the news. Now, we're going to bring this all into how this fits in biblically. This is, and what they're worshipping. It's not what it's not what we say it is. It's what we found it is. So I'm going to pass it over to you, Growler, for that number one bit we've got there.
Yeah, roger that. Again, thanks, guys, and really hope you're all well. And one thing led to another, and then another thing led to another, and it was like trying to thread needles through a haystack, and trying to pick needles out of a haystack. So we have to be careful where those leads led us to. So now I'm sure, with the current pandemic that we're in, it's affected the world left, right, and centre. Basically, every Western civilization, more like it. If you have a look at the countries that are involved and where it's hitting them, so it's basically the collapse of Western democracy around the world, so they can bring in their own system. Now, I've seen. I'm bringing up first, as you had a look at the name. COV, the rest that goes with it, and
OVID.
that's
We can
right.
say the word.
That's right.
We can say the word Ovid. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So, but because of the pandemic, what it's called, that's why I didn't want to say the C word.
Right.
So So let's have a look at Ovid. So it's just a basic overview that's going to go into this and then go into this and then go into this. So some pretty amazing numbers. Now, first of all, we do not at all endorse gematria. We really don't, because it's not of the Father. But if you're a watchman and you've got to see, this is how these people talk. So to uncover their plans and to try and find them out, unfortunately, sometimes we have to do that to lead us to other things as well. Because, I mean, if you have a look at detective, now you talk to a detective in the police force, they say, how do you catch a criminal? Well, they said we've got to think like them to catch them. So this is what we're doing here. And if we can really lay off it, it'll be great. But there's sometimes that we can't because they lead to dates, numbers, and the rest is history, if you know what I mean. So we're going to have
it leads to things that are important to them, and then we can see how it all ties in with the whole puzzle.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm just going to give a brief overall of Ovid, and then we're going into, and then Beck will go through the next set here. So Ovid is Publius Ovidius Naso. So you can sort of like look at that word as public or whatever. This is how the English language has been basically spelled out, if you know what I mean. It's a spell, and they keep talking in these sort of codes and that sort of thing, but we'll leave that for another time. So Ovid, okay, the 20th of March BC, 43 BC to 17/18 AD, known as Ovid in the English-speaking world, was a Roman poet who lived during the reign of Augustus. He was a contemporary of the older Virgil and Horace, with whom he is often ranked as one of the three canonical poets of Latin literature. Now we know about Roman mythology, Greek mythology. The Bible was in Greek, transferred from Latin to Greek, and so on. So you can see what sort of order is happening here. So the imperial scholar Quintilian considered him the last of the Latin love elegists. Although Ovid enjoyed enormous popularity during his lifetime, the Emperor Augustus banished him to a remote province on the Black Sea, and that's near Russia, where he remained until his death. Ovid himself attributes his exile to Carmen et Error, a poem and a mistake. But his discretion in discussing the causes has resulted in much speculation among scholars. The first major Roman poet to begin his career during the reign of Augustus, Ovid is today best known for the Metamorphosis, a 15-book continuous mythological narrative written in the meter of epic, and for works in elegiac couplets such as Ars Amamentora, the art of love in brackets, and fasting. His poetry was much imitated during late antiquity and the Middle Ages, and greatly influenced Western art and literature. The Metamorphosis remains one of the most important sources of classical mythology. So, over to you, Beck. I was just wondering if you wanted to go through because Ovid was the poet, and he wrote that book, Metamorphosis. Yep.
Rightio, guys. So now the meaning of Ovid in Greek is from the Roman name Ovidus, which was possibly derived from Latin a sheep. Okay, so now Ovid, if you heard what Growler said, was exiled onto an island at the end of his life where he died. Well, towards the end of his life where he died, an old man there. Now, Ovid did something so bad to be exiled there, okay? Now, if you look at Patmos with John, and at Patmos he was exiled to Patmos. To me, this just seems like a bit of a carbon copy, but in a different way. And we know that everything's come full circle, guys. But Ovidus is Latin for a sheep. So I'm just thinking, this is all theory, but you think. Now, he said that he actually had done something that was worse than murder. I've got this written on another page here, which I thought I had bookmarked, but I did not. So no, that's a different thing. Ovid obviously became a traitor. That's what I'm getting at while I'm looking for my notes. He became a traitor to the extent that bad that he was exiled to this island, Timis, which, as Growler said, was in off the Black Sea in Russia, near Russia. Now, the thing that's strange to me about this, well, not strange, it just the way the Holy Spirit works, he shows you these things, is that Ovid means sheep, and the word COVID is aimed at the sheep, and his name was not remembered as a good thing after all. So and there's also, guys, you got to think, these people are very, very black magicians. They've been doing this for centuries. They've passed down their art to each other, and they have conjured a spell over that word. So every time we say the word COVID, we are actually adding to the spell. I truly believe, I do. And I know you have to think very, very spiritual to understand this sort of stuff. So I hope I'm not over too many people's heads, because I hope a lot of you here are awake. Now, the thing is, with all of this, it's going to lead into, just stay with us here, guys. Okay. Ovid wrote, his best known work was Metamorphosis. Do we know what Metamorphosis is, guys? I'm sure we do, but we can have a quick little lesson on that too, because why is it so, important? Why is that so important? That he's best known for Metamorphosis, okay? Because what this Sting, I'm trying to find the words to, sorry, doing two things at once is never a good idea, is it? No. Okay, so
the poison sting.
Okay, so now the meaning of the word metamorphosis is not coming up for me, and we had a lot of trouble putting this together, guys, just so you know too. At the beginning of this, things were going wrong left, right and center, so bear with us if our brains go a bit weird too, because lots of strange things have been happening. So haven't they? Very much so.
Yep, sure have.
To the point that we know where we're at. We know our time frame. And that's why we're trying to get this out to you. And all I know is, we know what metamorphosis is. It is morphing into a different creature. It has to be. It's not talking about a car morphing into a computer. It's talking about biological things, morphing. Now, we talked about the Crimea last stream and how the CH on the box of the AZ poison is, it says the CH on it, which was the Crimea part of it. Metamorphosing into Crimea. Now, stay with us on this Ovid thing, okay, because this is really, really important, because now we're going to get to the guts of a lot of things that are all taking place with climate change, how this relates to climate change and Mother Earth and everything. So we know what metamorphosis is. We know the box has Crimea written on it. We know Ovid's best work was Metamorphosis. We know he was banished to an island because he did something that was worse than death. Okay, which I believe he became a traitor. He saw the light and he wanted to tell the truth. That's what I believe. So I will let you take over. I'll let you take over again, and we're just going to bounce off each other here. Okay.
Yep. No worries at all. So so what we're doing is we're doing this in stages, guys. So we've done the Ovid overview. I mean, you can go online, have a look at Metamorphosis, as Beck has just gone through. Now we're going to go through Augustus. Now,
why? I wonder why.
Yeah, well, I can tell you why. Is because Caesar, Augustus, and if you have a look at it, I'm just throwing something else out there. I mean, premature babies and that sort of thing, you have cesarean sections, don't you? This is where it's all coming from. Cesarean sections, Caesar. So it's just something there that we're going to go through in another one. Caesar's Augustus, born Gaius Octavius, or simply Octavian. Now remember that word Gaius, guys. He was born on the 23rd of September, 63 BC, 6 3s or 3 6s, any way you want it, on the 19th of August. 19th of August. And he was the first Roman emperor reigning from 27 BC until his death in AD 14. Remember that AD 14. Remember 14. His status as the founder of the Roman Principate, the first phase of the Roman Empire, the building of the Roman Empire, and they were actually the Roman Empire was ruling in Jerusalem at the time of when they crucified Jesus, of course. Now Rome took over Jerusalem. They were the biggest military, and they were the economic order. So the economic order and the military basically took over the world, because that's how powerful the Roman Empire was. So if you have a look at it today, now all your international bankers, all your militaries, all your intel agencies, all your commercial businesses, everything is controlled by Rome. So you can see back in the year when they crucified Jesus, Rome was in charge of the world, economically and military. Now it's come around as... That's right. Has come around.
Augustus was in charge. Yep.
That's exactly right. So Augustus was ruling 2,000 years ago when they crucified Jesus. So who rules the economy, the military, business, everything now? Rome. So it's come as a full circle, because, like I said, I'll go through it again. They own all businesses, they own all the churches, Protestant, Catholic. They've invented Islam. The rest, the world's economy is run by the Bank of International Settlements. They're your biggest banks. They're your Vatican Bank and the Bank of International Settlements. All your Swiss offshore bank, Swiss accounts, your Cayman Island offshore accounts, all this, they own everything. And we know that in World War I and World War II, which was financed on both sides of the Roman Empire, World War I and World War II were financed by them. They were in charge of the First World War, and then Rome healed the deadly head wound in 29. That's when they became Vatican II, or whatever you want to call them. Then you had World War II. Now, the Romans, the Vatican, what they did is they've been in charge of basically Jesus's crucifixion, all the wars up until now. So with World War II, both sides were financed. Both sides of the opposition fighting forces were financed by Rome. So what you're seeing here is a full circle happening again. Now, like I said, Rome owned I mean, you can Google this. Deloitte, you know, they own IBM, they own all these massive, and they own all the world's militaries, they own all the world's intel, they own everything. It's amazing. Even I still can't believe it. The scope and the power that these people have. So back from 2,000 years ago, from Augustus, it's regenerated. It's regenerated. Have a look at the Vatican. I mean, you have a look at Washington DC. It's like it's a spitting image of Rome. Even if you have a look at Melbourne in Flinders Street Station, it is the same dome as the Vatican. They are everywhere. Even your libraries around the world, they look like the Pantheon. They look, I mean, so Rome has been built into every facet around the world. So this is what I'm trying to say. And with Augustus, what they, I mean, just a quick thing I'm going to throw in there, because that's actually serving this time as well. Back in World War II, who owned and ran all the camps, all the prison camps and everything? IBM. IBM is a creation of the Vatican. They own everything. I'll leave it there. So what they were doing is Caesar Augustus. He put everything in place. He was ruling there. He was ruling when Jesus was killed. So have a look with the pandemic now. What are they planning to do? They are planning to do the same thing to kill all the Christians, to get God out of the way. So this is what all your popes, everything, they're pretending to be Augustus Caesar. That they're not worried about Peter the Apostle and St. Peter's Basilica. That's just a front. What they're doing is they're implementing all the all the how would I put it? All the ways, strategies, the world economic system, the world's military system, the world's business system. It is all run under Rome. They're so rich, it's ridiculous. I wouldn't even know how much they're worth, and no one would know, because I think the figure would be too much. So this is what I'm trying to say. So Caesar Augustus back in Jesus' time, and now have a look at Rome, how they've built themselves up. They've built themselves up to affect every single little part of society in the whole world. So that was the idea. Because we know that the Vatican, Rome, whatever you want to call them, Jesuit orders, all that sort of thing, they run. This is the vehicle for Satan. This is the vehicle for Satan to get everything done. So I want to just keep, sorry to go off there, but I just wanted to go through it so you can actually see how it morphed from when Jesus was crucified. Have a look at the last 2,000 years, how Rome has rebuilt. You really start to get an idea of the scope of this. It's just horrendous. I mean, you know, we could be live streaming, I'd say, for the next 10,000 years, but we know that's not going to happen. But, you know, there's just so much to cover. So that's why I said, have a look at the 14 AD. I'll be coming back to that. So, so the reign of Augustus initiated in an era of relative peace. So what about after World War II? Have a look. It was relatively peaceful compared to, you know, with all the other genocides and everything that was happening back between, the start of the AD year to where we are now. Initiated in an era of relative peace known as the Pax Romana. The Roman world was largely free from large-scale conflict for more than 2 centuries, despite continuous wars of imperial expansion on the empire's frontiers, and the year-long civil war known as the Year of the Four Emperors over the imperial succession. So what I'm going to quickly go into now is his names and who is actually connected to, and I mean, if you have a look at the Rothschilds.
Before you do that, there's something very, very significant that we'll just throw in straight away. He was born on the 23rd of September, 63 BC, and
that's right.
As Growler said, don't forget he died in AD 14. Don't forget that number. However, the September 2017 sign was on the 23rd of September. Now, they, in all their movies, in iPet Goat, in all these things, was the code 923. Nobody knew what 923 was. Truthers have been searching to crack it. What is 923? Okay? I think we found it, guys.
That's
this is it. This is
because that's when Julius Caesar was born. That's when he was born.
Well, his name's Caesar, Augustus,
Augustus Caesar,
Gaius, Augustus,
Octavia.
He has many names, Octavian. Now, we'll go into the rest of one of his names in a minute, but what I wanted to stress there just before we moved on was that September 17 sign, which was the woman, Virgo, the lion. We all know what it was. Now, it says in the book of Revelation about that sign. So if you haven't looked at that, please go and look at that sign in the book of Revelation. Actually, I'll pull that up while Growler's talking, and we'll go through that, and you can keep going, Growler.
Yeah, so I'm just going through that. That was his birth, the 23rd of the 9th, which is the September 23rd sign, as well as Beck was just saying. Now, Augustus was born into an old wealthy equestrian branch of plebeian gens octava. He's a pleb. His maternal great uncle, Julius Caesar. Now, I just want to say to you guys, if you have a look at Augustus Caesar, have a look at the initials, AC. Now, I've just picked this out. Augustus Caesar, AC, could that stand for Antichrist? Wouldn't surprise me. But then Augustus Julius Caesar. So if you take his middle name and last name, middle and last initials, JC. So you got Augustus Caesar, AC, Julius Caesar, JC, Jesus Christ, Antichrist. So you can see as above, so below. So I just thought I'd point that out. If you guys, you guys listening to this, if you find out any more, please, just whack it in the comments. It'd be fantastic. His maternal great uncle Julius Caesar was assassinated, in 44 BC. 44 BC, and Octavius was named in Caesar's will as his adopted son and heir. After which he took the name Gaius Julius Caesar. Now we know the UN World Economic Forum. They've just put out. Mate,
you might have to shut that front door. You might have to.
Yeah, no, that's fine. She's
glass door shut. Okay.
Mum's got her. Yeah. So Gaius Julius Caesar. Now, the IMF and World Economic Forum and the UN are launching a program. Have just launched it about 2 weeks ago, called Project Gaia. Now we know Rome's connection with Gaia is Gaia worship, worshipping creation, not worshipping the creator. So this is what Rome's all about, the highest form of paganism. So Operation Gaia, or Project Gaia, is an artificial intelligence operation, and I'll be going on about that in another live stream. So if you guys can actually just Google it, just put World Economic Forum Operation what was I going to say? Operation Gaia. It's a World Economic UN Forum. So through later historians will be calling him Octavian to avoid confusion with his great uncle. He, Mark Antony, and Marcus Lepidus, it sounds like their parents don't like them, the way they name them here, formed the second triumvirate, and that is very important to look up, that second triumvirate, which was a war to defeat the assassins of Caesar. Following their victory at the Battle of Philippi at 42 BC. What's the father's number?
42.
Yeah, So you're
It's a
going to see a
number.
connection with all. Yeah, you're going to see the connections in numbers here. The Triumvirate divided the Roman Republic among themselves and ruled as de facto dictators. And the Triumvirate was eventually torn apart by the competing ambitions of its members. Lepidus was exiled in 36 BC. Antony was defeated by Octavian at the Battle of Actium in 31 BC. 3 1s, 1 3, take your pick. Read into it how you like. After the demise of the second Triumvirate, which is the Second War, Augustus restored the outward facade of the Free Republic with governmental power vested in Roman Senate. Now we have a world. A world governmental power now. Okay, and this was set up by Rome. Now it's called the UN. Okay, so that's where you've got all your countries all sitting in one. But all this was born from Rome. So if you have a look at governmental power, the Roman Senate, executive magistrates, legislative assemblies, yet maintained autocratic authority by having the Senate grant him lifetime tenure as supreme military commander, tribune, and censor. So now I'm just going to go through here. Roman Senate, everyone has a Senate in different countries, or they have their Senates. They have their executive magistrates, magistrates' courts. Just have a look at the influence here. I mean, it comes down to your magistrates' court, but you've got executive magistrates in government. You've got legislative assemblies which put bills, legislations, laws, amendments all into place. So you can see you've got the full political system that's been implemented by world governments everywhere. So you can see that this is a full transfer of Rome to every single country in the world, because this is how most of them actually play. Apart from, let's say, Russia, China, that was Russia and China, especially China, was created by Rome. Communism was created by Rome, and China was their pilot puppet to because that's what's going to come in with the NWO, the UN system, and whatever's coming around the corner. So Rome, what they did is they basically sealed off the whole world, put their whole system in through Western governments, Western civilizations, all this sort of thing. But they used China as their separate pilot model to perfect communism, to perfect all this. So by the time they collapse all Western civilizations, they know how to bring in communism. You just bring down the Western society, Western democracy, whatever you want to call it, and this is how they've taken it over through I would say a fake bio, if you know what I mean, guys, a fake bio weapon. So the Roman Senate say,
than that, isn't there? Though, sorry, keep going. I didn't realise you were going.
No, that's all right. So as I say, the Roman Senate.
Get the picture there, though.
Yeah, the legislative assemblies, supreme military command. Now, back in 2000 years ago, who was ruling the world basically military-wise? Rome. Who was ruling the world economically? Rome. Who was ruling the world in business? Rome. So they're doing it all again. They're doing it all again. So this is why that's right. So a similar ambiguity is seen in chosen names and the implied rejection of monarchical titles. Now, do we have monarchs in the UK, Holland, Denmark? So you can see where this is going. Every single little tentacle it's touched every corner. I like to say corner of this plane. The corner of this plane. It has touched everything, and there's probably other places we don't even know about that they haven't shown us, but that's where Beck comes in. She knows exactly what she's talking about there. Monarchical titles, whereby he called himself Princeps Civatus, first citizen. Now, I'm just quickly going to go first citizen. Now, with the UN, what they're going to do is they're going to they're launching an operation called being a world citizen under the UN. Am I a world citizen? Am I in this world? So you can see that Augustus was the one who developed and called himself Princess civatus, which is the first citizen.
Okay.
And with his adoption of the ancient title Augustus. Augustus
Right.
dramatically enlarged the empire, annexing Egypt, Dalmatia, Pannonia, Noricum, and Raeta, expanding possessions in Africa and completing the conquest of Hispania, but suffered a major setback in Germania. Okay, so beyond the frontiers, he secured the empire with a buffer region of client states and made peace with the Parthian Empire. Very interesting, the Parthian Empire, which is another extension of Rome. Through diplomacy, he reformed the Roman system of taxation. Does it ring any bells, guys? Taxation? This is,
Mhm.
they had their old order 2,000 years ago. Taxation, it was all built up until now, and it was just evolved. Developed networks of roads with official courier system, established a standing army, established the Praetorian Guard, created official police and firefighting services for Rome, and rebuilt much of the city during his reign. Augustus died in AD 14 at the age of 75, probably from natural causes. Right. And
Yeah.
persistent rumours substantiated somewhat by numerous deaths in the imperial family. Now, we're going to go through Augustus and all his family and everything like that. It's basically what you see in the Rothschilds, basically in their family, how they interbreed and how, yeah, they look great. Yeah. So if you have a look at the Rothschilds, the same sort of thing happened with Augustus's family. They bred into the family, so therefore, all your spoils, like all your money, all your banks, all your businesses, everything stays in the family. That is how they do it here. So the
Mm.
imperial family have claimed his, in the imperial family, have claimed his wife Livia poisoned him. Oh, lovely. Imagine being married to her. You wouldn't sleep. You're too
I
scared
would
to
have
sleep, wouldn't you,
poisoned him
sis?
too. Well,
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
well, who
he
wouldn't I?
deserved to be poisoned, though.
Oh,
You know,
maybe the family. Yeah,
maybe
maybe the
she knew
family.
something too, because it was
Yeah.
he also he. I didn't actually get to say this, but Augustus also sent two of his grandchildren to the island with Ovid,
Mm,
because obviously of this sin that they had all committed, as I was saying before, was more than likely because they started to preach the gospel of Yeshua, because they
that's
realized
right.
he had murdered Yeshua. So he would have been the one that had the head authoritative. The end of it all goes back to him. You know,
Mm,
he would have had to okay that decision, and then
mm,
Pilate and Herod, obviously big players too, but it had to go back to Augustus, guys.
that's
Right.
right.
Sorry,
So,
I don't know. Are you
no,
busy
that's all right.
reading there?
Yeah, yeah,
We
I've
were
just got a
going
little
to go
bit here.
into the family. Okay, well, you finish
That's
that, and
right.
then we'll go into just this
Okay.
family.
Also, also his by adoption and former husband of his only biological daughter, Julia Tiberius. Now, guys, if I can ask, what's running this poison system around the world now? Tiberius, Augustus, Tiberius. Can you see that what they did to Jesus 2,000 years ago? It's all happening again within the family through Rome. It's all
Let me
happening
read
again
this.
through.
This
Yep.
is perfect timing. While Star Trek's Captain James Tiberius Kirk, which they even,
Mm,
blasphemy with all that space ridiculism. So while Captain James, hang on, while Star Trek's Captain James Tiberius Kirk said he grew tired of explaining the origins of his middle name,
mm,
Operation Warp Speed officials were eager to highlight their version of Tiberius, a
mm,
software platform designed to guide the distribution of the
mm,
CV-19 uh,
mm.
poison. Did you
Well,
hear that,
funny.
guys?
Yeah,
Did you hear
that's
that?
right.
Tiberius was specifically developed for Operation Warp Speed. It was
That's right.
specifically developed with that name because it all goes back to Augustus, and
Mm-hmm.
and how this has come full circle as in the days of Noah. Right. So
That's right. And the only biological daughter of Augustus was Julia Tiberius. So you said James Tiberius, didn't you?
Oh no,
Is
that
it
was
James?
just Captain James T. Kirk. That was
Yeah,
his middle name. It's funny how they
James.
flouted
Sorry,
that. That was just
James
Star Trek.
Tiberius and
Yeah.
Julia Tiberius. So it's still the same,
Oh,
same. Both start with a J. But the
good one.
Julia Tiberius, who consolidated the Principate into a de facto autocratic monarchy called the Roman Empire.
Right.
There you go. So it's a
Right.
monarchy. So the biggest monarchy is the Roman Empire, people,
That's
because
right.
we know
And
it came from. So if you have a look at it, Egypt, because Augustus was his girlfriend or his wife was Cleopatra. I mean, it goes back to Egypt even if you want to go
mistress.
back to that. Yep, that's right. So if you have a look at monarchy, Danish, UK, uh, uh, Danish, British, the Holland monarchy, the Roman monarchy. I mean, it's just all the same. It's just they're just different tentacles, basically of the same bloodline, controlling everything. So that's what I wanted to bring up and just give you a basic overview of and how the economic order is, the military order, the business order, that sort of thing. It all comes from Rome through Augustus Caesar. Because if you have a look at all the popes, they all want to rule like Augustus Caesar because AC, Augustus Caesar. It could be Antichrist, AC, Augustus Julius Caesar. You got JC. I mean, I don't know. It's a bit hard to say that's a coincidence. You know what I mean? So. That's and because it's Gaia and which is the highest form of paganism, worshipping the creation, not the creator. So it takes God, it takes the Father out of the middle, Yeshua out of the middle, and who gave the world? The Father, Yeshua, gave the world to Satan. He gave all the kingdoms and everything to Satan. So if you have a look at this Gaia worship. It's basically behind the curtains, worshipping Satan's creation,
Yes,
worshipping his
yes,
kingdom. That's what it is.
yes.
It's worshipping his kingdom, Gaia.
And the
So Gaia
Gaius
worship
comes, and the Gaius
from
comes from his
Augustus.
name. His
That's
name.
right, Augustus.
His his
That's right.
full name was Gaius Octavius Thrunus
Yep,
Augustus Caesar.
yep,
So
yep,
he went by many names.
yep.
What did Satan say? What did he say in that Rolling Stones song, Sympathy for
That's
the
right.
Devil? I have
Yep,
many names. He says it straight out.
that's
Um,
right.
Now, we did bring up the 23rd sign. Great.
Yes,
923,
we did.
his
And
birthday.
14. Mm,
And now we haven't talked about the 14, and that was next
okay.
because
Yep,
this all
yep.
goes back to something else that is happening right now that hasn't
That's right.
happened for 14 years. Why is it a
Yeah.
big deal now? Okay.
Well, we can tell you.
No,
And
this the
because,
mausoleum,
yeah,
the
that's
mausoleum
right.
of Augustus. Right.
Yeah, the
I'll let you go with
mausoleum.
that.
Okay. The mausoleum. Now, I've got the article here in front of me. We're going to put everything in the description box, all in order how we've been talking. So, the mausoleum of Augustus reopens on March the 1st, 2021, after 14 years. After
So
14 years,
his
he
reign
died in
ended.
14 AD.
Oh, he died in 14. Sorry, died. Yes,
Yep,
yes.
that's right. So he
On
died
on
in
the
14
19th.
AD.
On the
That's right.
19th. So
Yep, that's
yes.
right.
So there's your
And now
19.
March. Yep,
Yeah,
and
and
March.
now you've got 14 as well.
That's right. So it's been closed for 14 years, and it's opening up on March the 1st, 2021. So March the 1st, what's that? Well, this is how we do it in Australia. We always say the date first. The first of the third, which is 13, 2021,
Mm-hmm.
after 14 years. So it's
Mm-hmm.
opening on the first of the third or third of the first, any way you want to call it. And I know the Americans do it that way. We do it around the other way, but it doesn't matter. It's 1-3 or 3-1. It doesn't matter. So Rome to reopen the mausoleum of Augustus after intense restoration works. Reservations open from the 21st of December. That was last year. Rome is a city with a glorious history that leaves everyone in it awe by its landmarks, monuments, attractions. The ancient Roman ruins and architecture cohabit with the modern and contemporary Italian architecture, making Rome indeed an open-air museum. The founder of the Roman Empire, Emperor Augustus Caesar, filled Rome with monuments recalling his victories. Among many architectural landmarks built, one of the most significant monuments still standing in Rome is the Mausoleum of Augustus. This architectural landmark used to be one of the most beloved and enduring icons of the city, not to mention the largest circular tomb monument in the world. I found Rome a city of bricks and left it a city of marble. Basically, that was Augustus Caesar. Now, and we all know that heaven's gold and marble or something like. So they're trying to imitate it. You know what I mean? To have their little piece of crap down here. So with the Roman Empire's birth, the first dynastic sepulchre was raised in Rome. The Mausoleum of Augustus, built in 28 BC. This tomb is one of the most well-known monuments in the Roman Empire and worldwide, so much so that after 80 years of being closed, the Italian telecommunication company, TIM, has donated €6 million to restore the mausoleum. So, what we're trying to say here is we do have this article. We'll link it in the description box. Now, Rome, the Mausoleum of Augustus is a burial tomb site, graveyard, whatever you want to call it, for Augustus Caesar and his offspring. Now, if you have a look, there's 5 bodies buried at the mausoleum, and there's 14 people's ashes. Now, I mean, you can look at this any other way. 5, which the 5th point of Satanism, is the 5th point of Satanism, which is the highest point of Satanism. Have a look at your 5G. You can actually keep going with it, which I won't. 14 is when he died, 14 AD. 14 people's ashes, and it's opening up after 14 years. Now, if you put 14 and 5 together, what does that come up with? 19. 19 people buried there, you can say.
They're all going back. It goes back to this. It's all going back to this.
So you have a look at, we'll call it Ovid 19. So there you go. Everything comes from Ovid. Everything comes from Augustus. Everything comes, you're 19. He died on the 19th of August. Yep, that's right. He died on the 14 AD on the 19th of August. And there's 19 people buried there. I mean, and what does 19, I hate saying it, guys, in geometria is AI. It's all there. It's all there. I mean, they're rebuilding the mausoleum, and I'm going to talk about. I mean, you'll have to look at it when you actually watch the premiere. But if you have a look at the mausoleum, how many people are buried there? Who's buried there? Rebuilding it. It's sort of like the rise of the Antichrist is coming through. The rise of the Antichrist is coming through. It's coming through Augustus Caesar, I would say. I mean, it could be a spitting image of Augustus Caesar. It could be a spitting image of Jesus. We don't know. We're not saying that we do know this. We don't. I mean, as I'll be going through, if you have a look at the mausoleum from a drawing, a drafting perspective, if you have a look at the intricate details of it, it looks like a giant wheel. Now, didn't the Pope say that he would baptize aliens? So if you have a look at the wheel, it looks like one big UFO. If you have a look at what the mausoleum looked like back in the day, it looks like a classic saucer shape with an antenna on the top. It looks exactly like that. And everyone's sort of like waiting for disclosure, and everyone's waiting. People have seen UFOs. Now, I mean, only Rome can pull this off. I can tell you that right now. We know that the AC we've read is an Assyrian Jew. We know that it has to be a Jew for the Jews to accept him. But I think for the Jews to accept, the ones that are going to accept them are probably Romans anyway. Really, they're part of the Roman Empire, so they're going to say, "Oh yes, he is Jewish. Oh yes, he is. He'll look Jewish or something like that. Who knows?"
It doesn't
Like I said,
matter who it is. I believe
there's,
my
yep,
belief is that the recombinant DNA on the box of what it tells us, the recombinant is, if you remember, guys, go do your homework, that I believe could not only be the nanobot particles with the Tiberius operating system, but could literally have the DNA of Caesar in it as well.
That's right.
And
that's
that
correct.
is going through every single person. And that is why we can't be unredeemable as well, because
That's
that was
right.
the empire that murdered Yeshua. And if everybody has that blood or that DNA running through not us, but they're running through them, the DNA with the recombinant DNA, it can bring two DNAs together. That's what they're going to do, two or more. And then everybody has the DNA of this bloodline in them. It's not the blood of the bloodline, it's the DNA. So this is what, okay, sorry to
Augustus must have been he must have been a giant. He must have been Nephilim, like David and Goliath, like Goliath.
He was portrayed with
red
hair as well. So
that's
yes,
right.
he could have been a red-headed giant, you see. And just so you don't forget, I just wanted you to you touched on the mausoleum with the saucer shape, and we need to touch on the cypress trees. So guys, you can't write this stuff. The only trees that are around the mausoleum are cypress trees. Cypress trees are trees of death. That's what they call them. Now, okay, you can go, oh, well, that's fitting for a mausoleum because they're all dead in there. Well, cypress trees have pine needles. And those needles are very, very toxic to humans. Those needles on that cypress tree, okay, which also it's a pine, has cones, pine cones, which
pineal gland.
Yeah, we won't go into that now, but those of you who are wide awake, you know what we're talking about. The walnut juice, the pineal gland, okay? So I was just found it astonishing that it wasn't anything it wasn't a normal tree, because pines are, they're not even sure. Even the scientists say pine trees are the most weirdest trees in the world, because they just can't understand them, because every other tree is related except the pine. Do you see?
That's right.
Every other tree is related except the pine tree. So that in itself, they are an alien tree on this plane. Indoctrination goes hard. And the cypress needles of death are on the trees of at the mausoleum of Augustus. Okay, keep going, because we got so much just to backtrack on here, just to keep you guys in the loop.
Yeah, so with the mausoleum, and everyone's sort of like waiting for the fake alien invasion, you know what I mean? And if you have a look at the mausoleum, Pope said he's going to baptize aliens, and we know how great the Pope is. A lovely guy, you know, you go around there for a Sunday roast. He's a really nice guy. So what I'm trying to say here is, let's say Augustus was a giant Nephilim, and you have a look at the mausoleum. It's round, looks like a UFO. If you have a look at the drawings of it, it looks like a massive wheel UFO. Now, wouldn't it be? I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but it's a possibility. Everyone knows that there's going to be some sort of fake alien invasion and that sort of thing. So, wouldn't it be funny if it opens on March the 1st and goes through the 21st of December this year? So, wouldn't it be funny if, let's say, a UFO comes down near the mausoleum, or maybe at the Vatican, I don't know, bang, and then delivers Augustus, and he's got supernatural powers. And I mean, if you have a look at world governments at the moment, everyone's against their government. Everyone's against their order. No one trusts the government. They all hate them. So wouldn't it be a fantastic opportunity between March and December, or between March and August 19th, or March the 1st and 23rd of September? I'm not a date setter, but I'm just saying that these are his dates that he died on and that he was born on. So these are some dates to look at. They might stage something on those dates. I'm not saying that they are, but they might. So, I mean, imagine, let's say you've got some sort of magical Independence Day comes down over the mausoleum, delivers Augustus supernaturally, or Augustus Caesar, or Julius Caesar, or someone like him. Who knows? He's got to have supernatural powers. The Antichrist has to have supernatural powers for everyone to follow him.
Yes.
This is what I'm saying. So if you have a look, 19 people buried there. Augustus Caesar, AC, Augustus Julius Caesar, JC, as above, so below. So because people don't have faith in their governments anymore. They all hate them around the world. They just hate them. So the world, they want a savior soon.
For one. Yeah, they do.
That's
but
right.
They don't want our saviour. They don't want ours.
No, that's right. That's right. And I mean, I'm just putting this out there. This is what I've been thinking about just through study, everything like that. If you guys have got anything else, please add it into your comments. We're more than happy to learn off anyone we can. We're not saying we're 100% right, but we're trying to point you in this direction. It's all looking at Augustus Caesar. It's all looking, at the bloodline. It's all looking what happened 2,000 years ago when he was ruling, killing, when they murdered Yeshua. And the same thing's happening again. They're trying to put Neph DNA into everyone to kill all Christians, to kill the faith of the Father, anyone with faith in the Father, anyone. So it's like I said, it's come full circle again. So if you have a look at the mausoleum, you have a look at the dates, when he died, when he was born, and then as I said, I'll be putting a few more things in the description box to verify and back up what we say. Tim Fondazone, who is the company ahead that are in charge of actually restoring the mausoleum, says, use technology to travel with your imagination.
There you go. Ooh.
So, the mausoleum of Augustus was used as a burial site for the relatives and descendants of Augustus up until the later emperors abandoned it and started building mausoleums of their own. With the fall of the Roman Empire, the Colonna family had a mausoleum fortified and turned it into a castle during the Middle Ages. So you can see all the descendants or the same family bloodlines, whatever they're doing, like the Rothschilds family, keeping it within the family, if you know what I mean. They're all buried there. 19 of them are buried there. Ovid. I mean, the connections are just utterly amazing, and we couldn't believe it, could we? When we were talking about it, sis, we just couldn't believe it.
Then we had this all sort of going on in our heads, and was starting to write it down and put it together. And then the other day, there was a new discovery: the coins of Augustus. The coins of Augustus. We couldn't make up. This was after we'd already discovered it, and the timing of this is, it's unbelievable. The timing,
and they were found in 2019.
But they didn't tell us until now.
No, that's right. That's right.
19.
Yeah, the coins of Augustus were found in 2019, but they didn't announce it to this year in 2021. So there you go. I mean, 19th of August, 19 people buried at the mausoleum. I mean, it just keeps going. Ovid 19. Coins were bought out in 2019. I mean, this can't be coincidence. It's just impossible. It's impossible. as I said,
two in our
AI.
places here.
That's right. Artificial intelligence is what Satan is. He's artificial intelligence. So it all leads back to this. It all leads back to this. So yeah, I thought that you know, if we bring those up, we put everything in the description box. Read through your Triumvirate Wars, the 1 and 2 of Triumvirate Wars. It's amazing how things have come up, and then you can see the economic, political, military, commercial order all coming into one. And that's why in Western countries and in most countries you've got an order, or you've got an economic order, you've got a military order, you've basically in every country. So Rome has been put in every single country, economic, military, you know, it's all there. You know, and I really I find that it really is amazing. I mean, if you just go to Augustus Caesar images and have a look at his breastplates he's got on of war. They're all fallen angels and that sort of thing on his breastplates and his ranks and all. You know, it's amazing.
He's actually
Yeah.
got Christ. He's got Yeshua
Mm,
under on his neck. He's
yep.
got it there, guys. You go and put into Google search images Augustus. Look at the one that you will find one that is really, you know, good quality, and have a look on his breastplate just under where his neck is. You will see Yeshua right there. It's in. This is in our faces. This way, I can't believe the Father is so good. He has shown us. We are that close. That's why he's shown us now, because we are that close, and we have been digging for 3 years to come up with what it is. What, well, we know why. We know, you know, we know the Bible, but what they were doing and how they were doing it and who they were worshiping, and it does seem to be to me that Augustus is the one. It's all lined up. The numbers, the 19, everything lines up. We have Ovid, we have metamorphosis, we have the mausoleum, we have the September 23 sign, which is his birthday. We have the structure of the mausoleum, the cypress trees. This is all goes back to this. I did really just want to read out Revelation 12, if you don't mind, because so the people can understand why his birthday is of such significance, because of the Revelation 12 sign, which was given on on his birthday, the 23rd of September in 2017. Right. And here it is. Then a great and mysterious sight appeared in the sky. There was a woman whose dress was the sun, and who had the moon under her feet, and a crown of 12 stars on her head. She was soon to give birth, and the pains and suffering of childbirth made her cry out. Another mysterious sight appeared in the sky. There was a huge red dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns and a crown on each of its heads. We're not going to worry about getting all mixed up on all that 10 and 7 and stuff. This is the Revelation 12 sign. With his tail, he dragged a third of the stars out of the sky and threw them to the earth. And he stood in front of the woman in order to eat her child as soon as it was born. Then she gave birth to a son who will rule over the nations with an iron rod. But the child was snatched away and taken to the Father and his throne. The woman fled to the desert, to a place where Father prepared for her, where she will be taken care of for 1260 days. Now you might say, okay, well, we didn't get taken at the Revelation 12 sign when it happened in 2017. No. You're putting everything in a box, and as we know, the Bible doesn't. It doesn't work on our timeline. It works on its own timeline, even though the things in the physical here will appear in that timeline, but that snatching away is still to come. Or that was a spiritual snatching away. It might have had nothing to do with the earth, and we're reading into it all wrong. So we're not going to get caught up in that. But what I wanted to say was the part there was a huge red dragon which appeared in front of her. Now, Augustus' birthday being on the 23rd, that is the one I believe that Lucifer loved the most. He must have loved Augustus more than any of them. And so
because he was the ruler that killed Jesus.
That's right.
That's right. So there you go. So that's why he probably loves him. But we know Judas Iscariot. We know Satan came into Judas Iscariot, who betrayed him.
And
now,
I was
Judas
is that. Sorry, you cut me off. I did want to say that the spirit of Lucifer would have very well entered Augustus to be able to do all these things. Although men can do them without the spirit of Lucifer. But I believe this one is the one he favors the most out of all the emperors and kings and dictators there's ever been. It was Augustus, because it is all going back, and we can see their worship to him now clearer than ever.
That's right. You can see how the Vatican, you can see how the popes, they're all trying to be an Augustus because they're trying to be an antichrist, which they are. And you can see how they rule and how they quietly do things behind the scenes, and they put their front companies and puppets in front to get so Rome can complete what they have to basically be the ruling order of this plane. And that's what they were doing back 2,000 years ago. Things got busted up, and they just kept going from strength to strength. They collapsed, went from strength to strength again, and everything's come full circle again. So what was happening 2,000 years ago is just happening right now on colossal steroids. That's how I put it. And I'm just watching. Just watch Rosie, the Chook guys, screaming across the grass under the tree. So Rosie's nice and cool. So please don't worry about Rosie. She's laying eggs and she's doing quite well. So, but yeah, thought I'd throw that in. Being so serious for so long, it's not much fun. But I think you get our gist of what we're trying to say here, guys. Really look into Augustus and have a look at his interbred clan and where they're buried and what their names was: Gaius, Octavius, Octavius, and Gaia worship. A lot of people say, the Roman Empire has to rebuild all the old structures. No, they don't have to rebuild the old structures, because the Roman Empire has rebuilt the whole world.
Yes.
That is the structure now. That is the structure. So if you have a look at St. Peter's Basilica, you have a look at Vatican, you have a look at the Serpent Hall, you have a look at the whole of the Vatican. It's a foreign country within a country. You cannot touch it. And it's perfectly put. Hats goes off in one way, to the strategy that they've used. It's just amazing, and has blinded so many people. And Sis knows that I've been, hot on their butts for quite a long time, and I'm not really a fan of Rome, as Beck knows. I say a lot more and a lot better off camera and off comms. So, but yeah, it's Rome has poisoned the world. The Antichrist vehicle, which is the Vatican, has poisoned the whole world. The Vatican is the seat of the Antichrist. It all goes back to Augustus and the Vatican and the Roman Empire, how they've infiltrated the world, how they've set it all up. And for this pandemic right now, Rome was in charge, guys. Whatever. Remember, I think it was 2 days ago, Sis, that the Pope said that everyone in the Vatican has to be poisoned, otherwise they can't. Otherwise they're not allowed to work there. Full stop. And they're really full on about it. They said if you don't get the VC, they said it's suicidal if you don't get it. Rome has come out and said if you don't get the poison, it is suicidal if you don't get it. What else do you need? And they're even They're even VXing people in the Serpent Hall as we speak.
Yes.
I mean, go into Rome reports. They're pricking people. They're pricking people in the Serpent Hall in the Vatican. They're dragging the homeless. They're dragging the homeless off the streets and VXing them. And VXing them in there. I mean, geez, what else do you need to know?
Yes.
What else do you need to know? It all goes back to Augustus. It all goes back to the Roman Empire 2,000 years ago. Being born, I don't like to say, well, basically them rejuvenating and rejuvenating the whole Roman Empire to encircle the whole plain. So there's Rome everywhere. There's Catholic churches in China. I'm not sure. Well, like I said, the communistic system that was born into China was actually from Rome, because the communistic system that's in China now is spreading around all Western democracies now.
Right.
So you can see the reach. The reach of this is horrendous. It is horrendous. And everyone's saying in Australia, oh, the CCP has taken over. Or people in America, oh, the CCP has taken over. Well, communism, Marxism, and how else you want to put it, is a direct political order, ideal, whatever it is. The communistic system is a direct political ideal of the Roman Empire to rule the NWO in the last days. So everyone's going to run off the Chinese political model, which was perfected by Rome.
That's
so
right.
You see the far reaches. It's damn huge, really is. And you know, I'll start throwing things and probably swear when I get off camera because I'm so angry about it. I really am. I really hate it. You know, it really gets at me. And you know, why does it do that? Because I hate the enemy system. I hate it destroying souls and taking souls to hell. I hate it. I hate it, and what they did to our king back 2,000 years ago. Hate him even more. You know, it just, oh, mate, if I could just get this table and throw it over the fence. You know, that's what it does. I mean, and Sis knows how peed off I get about it, you know, and about the system. I've studied it for so long, and you know, you have a look at Protestant church. If you have a look at Jesuit headquarters in Rome, you know, they've got a Catholic with the foot on a Protestant's neck in front, on the front of the building. So you've got a Protestant lying on the ground with a Catholic with his foot on the neck of a Protestant. So I'm not worrying about this Protestant stuff, because I think, you know, basically 99. No, I hate saying 99 or anything like that, but 99%, I'll say, but 99% of churches are all infiltrated and changed by Catholicism, their doctrines, the Jesuit order. Yeah, I mean, you go back to World War II, the Gestapo, the SS, how they tortured the Jews and put them in acid showers, and I won't go on anymore. But that was all done by Rome, the Jesuit order. I mean, the far reaches are just horrific. Just utterly horrific, and as Beck said, all roads lead to Rome. They really do. There's just no other way. You know, we know about the ancient system in Egypt, and it's just an adoption of the ancient Egyptian system being Romanized and Greekanized, if you know what I mean. So we'll go into Roman, and probably next time we go into Roman mythology, recombinant Greek mythology. Very amazing stuff, people. Okay. Very amazing stuff.
What I did do while I was listening to you, Gabalon, was...
Oh, yeah. Nothing's new.
Yeah. Was I did want to put in this September 23, 2017 sign in a start date to get your 1,260 days, guys, is March the 6th, which is 3/6, and that's this year. But then remember the scripture says, but blessed are those who who can hang out for 1,335 days. Well, 1,335 days is May 20. Okay.
Yep.
So if there's going to be some big major things go on, we're looking at March 6th, which is 1,260 days. And then your May 20, which is I think it's my 32nd wedding anniversary. I can't believe
it. Happy anniversary.
Yeah, but the 1,335 days takes you to May 20. So basically
13.
what I've always taken out of that scripture saying, blessed is those who can make it to the 1,335, is that there's going to be a really, really bad time for just over a month's period, or however long that is. It's not long, 1,260 to 1,335. So
how many days is that? How many days is that from 1290 to 13?
60 odd, whatever. That
I'm just matter. I'm having a look at the 5 months, the stinging of men for 5 months. I don't know.
That's right.
I don't know.
Oh, rightio.
Yeah.
Well, see, it's all going to line up somewhere, because if that's not the right dates, it doesn't. Well, it does matter, because what matters is that we're looking at the right things here. And all I can say is between the Revelation 12 sign, 23rd of September 2017 until March 6, 2021 is your 1,260 days. Then you add to 1,335 days, takes you to May 20th. So if things are going to go down in a major, major way, because it says after the 1,260 days in Revelation 12, it says then war broke out in heaven straight after those 1,260 days. So after
Israeli invasion,
there's going to be, it could just all break loose, bust open. Don't forget the Father's going to do something. He's going to bust this wide open too, to show his hand in all this. He's going to. He's still going to give everybody a chance. He's going to give everybody the chance, right? I still don't think that, if you've even rejected the gospel, he's going to do something to make you hit your knees, to make every single person fall down. And then, those who really don't want to say, help me, then you're really in trouble. You really are. So this is what we've been working on, guys. And we hope it has brought you some clarity, maybe. And if not, throw it in the bin, start again. But it's what we've found. And we really just want to get the proper information out there to you guys. We do our best. We pray. I know that we're led by the Holy Spirit. There's just some things we just can't do we couldn't do on our own. This stuff, some of this stuff is just, we couldn't have done this by ourselves. Now, in closing, we've been going
just
in
quickly,
our 17.
sis. Yeah, just quickly. There's just a few dates that I've come up with. Now, March the 1st.
We don't date it though.
No, that's exactly. That's right. But I'm saying March is a very significant time, and May, as you were saying. I'm just saying that I'm not saying anything's going to happen, but this is what's on the calendar. You've got March 1st. You've got the opening of the mausoleum. Now, on March the 5th through to the 8th, Francis is going to Iraq.
So he'll be in Iraq on that day.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, we know that the 4 angels under the Euphrates River have to be released, and he's going to Iraq, Mosul, and all that sort of thing. I don't know. I'm not saying that it's going to happen. I'm not saying that it's going to happen. But that is that is one that you want to have a look at. Who knows? He could be there to release the angel. Or the Father said he releases the angels, but Francis might be there to see it. I don't know. And then you've got then in March as well. You've got the Israeli elections. It's for a new prime minister. So you've got the angels being released, the mausoleum being open on the 1st. Augustus, I don't know if he comes back. I don't know. I'm not saying that he is, but the angels being released, Israel has to receive their Messiah. So the mausoleum's opening on the 1st, so it really could sort of like chime in that way, so just have a look at the opening. Pope Francis the 5th to 8, and you've got the Israeli elections on the 23rd, I think it is, of March. The 23rd of March is the Israeli elections for them to elect another prime minister. But who knows? In between there, you might have a supernatural event, and hey, imagine them just saying, hey, here's our Messiah. Oh, wow, something supernatural has happened. So it's just something to look at. Like I said, we don't know what's going to happen. I mean, those dates are very significant. If you have a look in the book of Revelation, the 4 angels being released, the elections in Israel for them to accept their Messiah. It could happen then. Not saying it will happen then, but anything can happen. As we know, it's been pretty crazy the last year, so things are moving quick.
That's right. We're moving at breakneck speed. So I was just looking at Revelation 12 again there, and just seeing where are those angels released from the bottom of this pit?
From the Euphrates.
Sorry.
Yeah. Just another thing as well. Haditha Dam. They say they're. Some people have said the 4 angels could be under Haditha Dam. I've heard rumours. I'll call them rumours because that's all they are. That American troops and that sort of thing have heard massive screaming under Haditha Dam, which I'm not sure if that's true, but it's just something to look at, just to keep your eyes on. Not saying that anything will happen, but there's maybe 1 or 2 pointers to have a look at, I would say.
Okay. Yeah, I would say that. But just remember, guys, the second beast performed great miracles. It made fire come down out of heaven to the earth in sight of everyone. The book says everyone. Okay, so we know the technology will still be up and running by then. And it deceived all the people living on earth by means of the miracles which it was allowed to perform in the presence of that first beast. And the beast told them to build an image in honor, which that will come after. Now, so think about that. Everyone's going to see these miracles that are performed by the false god. Everyone.
Could happen this year.
That's right, and it very well could happen this year. And I've never said for 3 years. I've never said could be this year, but I'm doing it now. I did want to close by saying a prayer of protection over all of us, and the easiest and best way to do it, guys, I've found, is prayer with the word, is because Yeshua was the word. He is the living word. So if the word is alive, as we know it is, the word is alive, and it will go forth and it will conquer. It will conquer this. Only with us, though. It's too late for the world, because this is the way it had to go anyway. It doesn't matter.
That's right.
People are saying, oh, nobody stood up. If we all would have stood together, this wouldn't be happening. No, it would have. It would have, no matter what, guys. So you don't have to do the right-left paradigm. You don't have to do maybe we could have saved this. Maybe we could have had longer. No, this is the Father's timeline, not ours. And, it just happens to have happened right in the middle of our lives here. Most of us in our family are in the middle of our lives, age group, and it's just, I wouldn't say it's unfortunate. I think it's a saving grace, because it's being saved from this system how it was. It was just getting worse and worse and worse anyway. So I just want to I'm just going to read out Psalms 91 over us all. Father, I pray your protection. I pray your love, your guidance, your peace that passes all understanding. I pray for everybody listening to this and people who haven't yet heard it, that you will reveal, as as we are little children, you will reveal to us as those little children those things you want to be revealed to us.
Yes,
Show
Father.
us the right path. If anything is wrong, let us know. Sharpen our discernment, our wisdom, our understanding. But please, Father, give us the knowledge to get through these days and the strength. Show us how we can, well, we draw our strength from you, but give us greater strength in a greater measure, because we only have you. We don't have anywhere else to run. You are our Savior, our saving grace. Father, you
Yep.
sent him the first time. I know you're going to send him the second time. He's going to crack that
Absolutely.
sky, and people are going to be screaming, and we're going to be
Mm.
dancing and screaming with joy.
Oh, mate.
So it
Absolutely.
will
Absolutely.
be the best time ever, Father. That is, if we're here to see that, I don't know. It is
Mm.
your will, Father. Your
Mm.
will be done in our lives. So
Yep.
as I pray, as I say these words of protection over my family and myself, I
Mm.
know you will be true and just to make sure
Mm.
this happens. Whoever
Mm.
goes to the Father for safety, whoever remains under the protection of the Almighty, can say to him, you are my defender and protector. You are my Father, in you I trust. He will keep you safe from all hidden dangers and from all deadly diseases. He will cover you with his wings. You will be safe in his care. His faithfulness will protect and defend you. You need not fear any dangers at night, or sudden attacks during the day, or the plagues that strike in the dark, or the evils that kill in daylight. A
Mm.
thousand may fall dead beside you, 10,000 all around you, but you will not
Mm.
be harmed. You
Mm.
will see how the wicked are punished.
Mm.
You have made the Father your defender, the Most High your protector, and so no disaster will strike you. No violence will come near your home. Father
Mm.
will put his angels in charge over you to protect you wherever you go. They will hold you up with their hands to keep you from hurting your feet on the stones. You will trample down lions and snakes, fierce lions and poisonous snakes. Father
Mm.
says, I will save those who love me, and I will protect those who know me as Father.
Mm.
When they
Mm.
call to me, I will answer them. When they are in
Mm.
trouble, I will be with them. I
Mm.
will rescue them and honor them. I will reward them with long life. I will save them.
Mm.
Hallelujah.
Beautiful.
Hallelujah.
Absolutely. He is my commander in chief. There is only one commander in chief, and that's the Holy Father, everybody. It's
And
plain and simple.
if anybody here does not know how to do this, how to become part of our family, but more important, become part of the Father's spiritual family, all you have to do is say, Father, help me, show me who you are. I believe that you did send your son down to die for me. So please, please, I'm sorry for what I've done. Please, please help me. That's
Mm.
all you have to do, guys.
That's right.
It is from your heart. A lot of people, he completely breaks until they get to that point. Whereas
No, I
some
know that
people
one.
will say it, yeah, whereas some people will say
Mm.
it very readily and very easily. And so he
Mm.
knows your heart, and he knows if you are truly wanting to get out of this system, to be in his family, there is an escape from this world. There is an
Mm.
escape from this prison that we are in, a terrarium prison. Yes, we are. We don't know why we become part of all this. We didn't mean to get mixed up in it, but we're here. As long
Mm.
as we go to the right-hand path and stay on the right-hand path, even unto death,
Mm.
death could come before a rapture. This is what I've
Mm.
always said. Death could come
Mm.
to any of us before a rapture. So we have
Mm.
to do what he did for us, which would be to lose our lives to gain him.
Mm.
Okay? But he
Right.
lost his
Right.
life for us. He didn't gain nothing from us. He gained nothing from us except our dirty rags. That it shows the Father's love. I don't know how it could show any more, you know. It just proves everything. And,
mm,
you know, we know our Bibles might have been changed here and there. The translations are different.
mm,
There's things in there that aren't right. But the core message is the same. The core message
mm,
hasn't changed. It's been spot on with the prophecies. They've lined up. We only have a few prophecies yet to go, and we are home. So
mm,
fear not, for he is with you. Fear not, for he is your Father. He will strengthen you and help you. He will uphold you with his righteous right hand. Never forget
mm,
that, guys. And never forget
yeah,
we love you. We will be with you in the chat so we can be a lot more personal, because we are, you
mm,
know,
mm.
we can't converse with you here. So I'll let Growler sign off, and then I'll sign off, and we'll be out of here.
Yeah, so thanks, guys. Sorry if I rant on a little bit. I do get a bit passionate
Funny
about it,
joke.
but I do get a bit passionate about it because I'm so against the beast system, and because it's not the father system that we go by 100%, because he's the one who is omnipresent, all sovereign, all powerful, all knowing, the holy creator of everything. And as I've said before, that Satan can only be in one place at one time, which makes him pretty useless, damn useless, to be honest. And like I said, that's how he can. That's how he wants to be like the Father. He wants to, the only way that he can be omnipresent. Let's say TVs, phones, the prince of the areas, electricity, airwaves, all that sort of thing. So this is why he's trying to build his empire to be omnipresent, to control everything. And he can do that through the injection of the poison to pollute the temple of our Holy Father. That's the only way that he can make sure and take people's souls. So I mean, the rest of it speaks for itself. We're on the total winning team. The victory's already been won on the cross,
Yes.
because we can't do anything. We cannot do anything. I mean, our righteousness are filthy rags, to be honest. You know, our only righteousness is through Him. No one else. It's faith and righteousness. That's it. You know, you can't do anything. You cannot do anything to get into heaven. Yeah, you would have failed in the first 5 minutes. So,
Yeah.
the most important thing I'd really like to get across is, I know a lot of believers have got great, how would I put it? They've got great intentions to, oh, I better do this, or I better do this, I better do this. Yeah, that's no problem. But if you're going to think about it and saying, I better do this because I can't get into heaven, if I don't do it that way, or I don't do this, or I don't do that, the only way you can get in is drop everything. So you did everything in full. Yeshua did everything in full. We cannot do a thing. But I find it's like if you're married, or you've got a girlfriend or whatever, or you love someone, you just don't go up and say, oh, look, I love you, and then don't do anything. You know, it's not that you have to do it, it's because you want to do it. You know, if you love someone, I mean, it's common sense. It's like if you have a wife, or husband or something like that. You know, you do, like I said, you just say, oh, I love you, and then don't do anything. The thing is, you buy them flowers, or you take them out for dinner, or you buy them something, and constantly do it because you love it. It's just natural. It's just natural. So if I've said it. I've said this a few times. I think that our works are interest. That's what it is. It's interest. When you
Our
get up there, I'm
faith
not.
it's our faith.
That's
It's our
right.
faith.
That's right.
It's
That's
all.
right. That's right. It's exactly right. And I'm not. I mean, we've been called to do this, and I will not ever. I mean, I'd just be a dribbling mess if I ever said no to the Father. I wouldn't know what to do with myself, so, but everyone's got different things, different tasks. I will say different tasks. So Beck's sister is a watchwoman. I'm a watchman. I take care of my things. She takes care of her things. We bring them together so we can combine more. And even our mods on our channel, the Special Ann Walsworth, I would say, she's the best mod going around. Awesome. I mean, you have a look at all the things that she does on other channels. That is her job. So you can see how he uses everyone. How he uses everyone to to bring his message forward. So I think it's very important. If you think you have to do it, don't do it. Don't do it. If you think you have to do it, or you think, oh well, that'll get me into, it might get me into heaven and that sort of thing. No. It doesn't work like that. No, the finished work on the cross, him shedding his blood, has done it all for you. That's it. And if you don't recognise that, it doesn't matter what you do, you won't get there. So all I'm saying is just be humble, be very humble. People call themselves prophetesses and prophets and all this sort of crap. I mean, really, I mean, all we are humble servants to the Father. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing else. You do not put yourself up on a pedestal. You do nothing. You do nothing like that, because I mean, we are failed cases. We're only sinners saved by grace. That's it. We're only saved by Him. So, all I'm trying to say is it's a loving task. You do this, or you might go out and hand Bibles to people, or you might go and work at a charity or something like that and help feed the poor and tell them about His finished work on the cross. We do our Watchman stuff, and Anne and all the other mods, they mod on our channel and take out the people that we don't need on there. So you can see how everything falls apart. So all I'm saying is nothing can save you, only what He did on the cross. His finished work on the cross. That's it. So anything else is just interest, and it's done with a humble heart. You are only a servant. Know your place. It is so important to know your place, and be humble and pray to Him in truth and spirit, for Him to reveal things to you. So I just wanted to really get that message out. I think it's pretty important.
I think you did. I think you did an awesome job. And listen, while I'm thinking of it, can we please, all of us guys, spare a thought for Tim Henderson? I don't know if you guys know, but Pastor Tim Henderson lost his wife last week. We don't know the details yet, but Karen has gone to be with the Father. She was a beautiful woman. We've always loved Tim. We were worried about his rapture preaching because he was so fanatical about it, and it can, as we know, the rapture teaching it's a real thing. But what I'm saying is, we also should be ready unto death. That's all. And that's what worries me. What worried me about Tim. But in saying that, I loved his messages. Humble, beautiful man, beautiful family that's been. Their family have been through a great deal in the last couple of years, just personally that I know of. But he has lost his wife, Karen. So please go over to Tim's channel and please show your condolences. That would be very nice if you could do that. I would really appreciate that. So
exactly.
Yeah.
So I'd just like to say quickly as well. I mean, people are pre-trib or maybe mid-trib or post-trib. It doesn't matter, guys. It really doesn't. No one's 100% in the world. I mean, we don't hang anyone for it. We love the pre-tribbers on here. We love the mid-tribbers and post-tribbers. We don't care. We really don't. Gee, we would all have a rapture now. Gee, who wouldn't? I mean, there'd be something wrong with you if you didn't. So I'd like to say on our channel in comments, if there's pre-tribbers or mid-tribbers or post-tribbers, don't hang crap on each other. It's not worth it. It's
No,
not a salvation issue. It really isn't. People
no.
say it's a false teaching, pre-trib. Well, I tell you what, there could be a rapture right now, or who knows? No one
Doesn't
knows. No one knows. No one. It doesn't matter. So don't fight about this rapture because it divides people. If people pre-trib, yeah, talk with, love them. I mean, who cares if they're pre-trib? Who cares if they're mid-trib? Who cares if they're post-trib? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So I just wanted to put that out there as well, because I see so many times that pre-tribbers, the post-tribbers attacking the pre-tribbers and the pre-tribbers attacking the post-tribbers. It's just, it's dividing. It's dividing us believers. It just shouldn't happen. So we all should be united, because there's not many of us compared to the worlders out there, if you know what I mean. It's just not worth it. So, the closer we are and the more we accept each other, I mean, I'm not, no one, I mean, even the best pastors, they're not 100% on the word. So, I mean, people take it different ways and been told different ways. Well, maybe that's there for a reason. So,
Well,
I think
that went
that's
from
another important.
that went from poor Pastor Tim Henderson to that. So never mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, please, guys,
Just
spare
don't
a thought
attack
for
each other.
Tim.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah, poor Tim.
Pray
Love
for
Tim.
his family. Pray
Yeah.
for him and his family. They're going to need a lot of strength in this time.
That's right.
He's got numerous grandchildren. They all live together,
Yeah.
and his daughters
He's a
are going to
lovely
be
man.
lost. And
He's a
so
lovely
yes,
man.
just pray for him.
Yeah.
Thank you very much
Yeah.
for your love.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So we love you all, and
Yep.
it'll be great to be in chat. And I am going to end this stream now. It has been quite a long one. We've done very well.
Yeah, it has.
So
Yeah, we have.
we thank you all, and this is Beck signing off. I love you, and until next time, we'll talk again soon.
Thanks, guys.
Mate.
Because Shane from atheism is madness, remember? He was worried about the rapture doctrine. So that's why I wanted to